When a fox is in a bottle where the Tweedle Beetles battle with their paddles in a puddle on their noodle-eating poodle, this is what they call a Tweedle Beetle Noodle Poodle Bottle Paddle Muddle Duddled Fuddle Wuddled Fox and Sock, sir. Fox and Socks, our game is done, sir. Thank you for a lot of fun, sir. Now is your tongue numb? No? Oh, didn't see you come in again. Today we're, reviewing, the Romans. It's the first four-parter since the Aztecs. I think I should mention this. If this video has been taken down for copyrights, I am leaving annotations where the clips that weren't there are supposed to be. So they should be appearing on your computer, unless if you're on your phone. So if you're on your phone, then you might be missing a lot of this story. So I'd recommend that whenever you're watching me reviewing a Doctor Who episode, make it on a computer or a TV, because annotations appear on those, I believe. So yeah, TARDIS materializes on the edge of a cliff and topples over, and TARDIS, I'm not really sure what happened. Is it one of those things where it looks like it's a huge drop, but it's actually only like a few feet, or it seems like it's several feet since the TARDIS, like, gets smashed into the ground and, like, makes a huge dent in the ground. But anyway, the Doctor and Barbara and Vicky are fine, and when they look at it, they see that they're in Roman times, and they decide, hey, maybe we can finally have a rest, so that's what they did.
Barbara and Vicky, they gone down to the village.
Doctor, could you answer this question?
Do you think that plant's had enough water, Doctor?
The answer, dear boy, is pipes.
Pipes?
Pipes, Chesterton. Pipes.
I see what you're getting at here.
Good, good. Yes, they have.
Beg your pardon?
Oh, my dear young man, why do you let your mind wander so? You asked me just now if Barbara and Vicky had gone down to the village. I gave you a plain and simple answer. Yes, they have.
This is Vicky's first trip on the TARDIS. She doesn't quite understand why Barbara and Ian and the Doctor want to rest so much. Barbara and Vicky go down to a village and almost buy a cloak or something before deciding to go off, because they know that it's best just to not be so eager to buy it so that they'll get to a lower price. Meanwhile, two men who seem suspicious of Barbara and Vicky go over to the woman who is selling the whatever they were to buy information.
You know them?
Sight, not the name.
But they do live here?
Yes. They moved into a villa just north of the town about a month ago. The owner, Flavius Giscard, is away campaigning in Gaul. We reckon they're friends of his looking after the house.
How many of them are there?
Need to get more money, stupid.
4. There are 2 men with them.
Young.
One of them is. They sell the produce of the gardens to the townsfolk here. Very cheaply, too. They must be fools.
But you've no idea where they come from?
None. At least not until today.
A man who is simply playing the harp begins to walk down a passageway before he is mysteriously attacked by someone. And pretty much, I think it's safe to say that he killed him. And then the man who killed him just simply runs off. Meanwhile, the Doctor, Barbara, Ian, and Vicky, they start making jokes about things that haven't been invented yet, like London and French and fridges and stuff like that. And the Doctor uses his smart alecky skills to be able to go off to Rome with Vicky while leaving Barbara and Ian behind. This time I'm eating great food. Healthy food. So, two men who were questioning about Barbara and Vicky earlier go off to capture them. And they take Ian away, leaving Barbara alone, chained up to a weird board thingy. Meanwhile, the Doctor finds the man with the harp who was killed and takes his harp, and he's accidentally mistaken for that man since he looks a lot like him. So now everyone thinks that the Doctor is Maximus something. So the man who killed that guy is told that you didn't kill him, he's still alive, because they think that the Doctor is him, so, so he said to go kill the Doctor now.
I'm sure even Nero can play better than that.
I would like to see the guy's face if the Doctor did regenerate just in front of him. Guess what, the Doctor doesn't die. Although I guess his face when he finds out that he isn't dead, despite the fact that he just killed him, was good enough. But we are proven in this next scene that the Doctor has very good reflexes. The Doctor and Vicky manage to scare the man enough for him to jump out the window and run away. Meanwhile, Barbara is put into a jail cell where she's going to go to an auction where, like, men can, like, buy her. And, yeah, meanwhile, Ian is being absolutely tortured with a whole bunch of other men as having to row a boat while a man is just going, head out, row harder, keep rowing, row harder, stuff like that. But I kind of like what happens to the guy, though. So, the Doctor and Vicky are at Rome, and the Doctor notices that the woman auction is about to start, but remember, according to him and Vicky's mind, Barbara and Ian are still at where they were, just resting. He has no idea that Barbara and Ian were attacked. So, Vicky asks what's going on, but the Doctor pulls Vicky away since, you know, it's a woman auction, and Vicky might not like to see something like that, especially since she's a woman herself. And they run off just before Barbara goes up on stage. If the Doctor stayed there for like a few more seconds, Barbara would have, he would have seen Barbara. Ian and the guy who he was rowing with end up stranded on an island, and the man who Ian is with suggests that they travel north, but Ian says that he has to go to Rome to go get his friend Barbara. So they go off to Rome. Meanwhile, we have a little comedic bit where the Doctor has to pretend that he's Maximus without screwing up. And he actually does a pretty good job. Part of it is because Nero plays a pretty basic tune, and the Doctor simply says, "That is so amazing, I could never be as good as that," and stuff like that. You know, watch the episode to see the whole thing. Fortunately, Ian and his friend are captured before they can actually get anywhere. However, they are told that they can get freedom if they put on a good show in the arena where they are fighting something. They don't tell them what, but when Ian and his friend look out the window, they see that they might be fighting lions. So the man who bought Barbara for 10,000, whatever the currency is, ends up to have something with Maximus, and he keeps on talking to the Doctor because he thinks it's Maximus, and the Doctor has to pretend that he is Maximus. He also seems to be friends with Nero, too. And he speaks with him, and when Nero sees Barbara, he falls in love with her at first sight. And then we have a chase scene where Nero is chasing Barbara around so that she can kiss him, apparently. And it is quite interesting because the Doctor and Vicky are walking around those halls too, so it's like they'll just miss seeing Barbara and she'll just miss seeing them and stuff like that. When his wife finds out about this, she orders the chef, I guess, to make poison for Barbara to drink to kill her. But this is the problem that I always have. Like, if your crush or boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever, is cheating on you, why do you want to take revenge on the person who he is cheating with? Don't you want to take revenge on them personally? I mean, like, think about it. Like, maybe the person who they're cheating with didn't even know that he already had a boyfriend/girlfriend. So, like, my dad told me a pretty cool quote. If you're being cheated on, then you just lost someone who didn't actually love you, but they just lost someone who did. Nero's wife sets up poison to kill Barbara. Vicky accidentally falls into the room where the chef or whatever is making the poison, and some other food and drinks too. So Vicky hides under the table when she hears someone else coming in, and it happens to be Nero's wife, and she and the chef discuss, like, you know, like, Nero will get the regular drink, whatever, and she will get the poisoned one. And Vicky, of course, doesn't know that it's Barbara because they only refer to her as she. But, as soon as the chef and Nero's wife leave the room, Vicky comes out and swaps the drinks around so that Nero will get poisoned and the poor slave, by her understanding, will get the normal one. So Vicky tells the Doctor this, and the Doctor's just like, "Oh my god, I told you not to change with history," despite the fact that in the Aztecs he said, and I quote, "You can't rewrite history, not one line. What you are trying to do is impossible." It's impossible, then why are you even worrying about changing history? Obviously something is going to happen so that Nero doesn't get poisoned. But anyway, they run off and warn Nero that's poison and then walk off. Oh, and Nero gave Barbara a little present by putting something on her wrist. Nero's wife punishes the chef, despite the fact that the chef didn't really do anything wrong, she just did her job. Meanwhile, Barbara begins sulking because, by her mind, she's just lost. I mean, Ian is who knows where at this point in her mind. And Doctor and Vicky are the same, despite the fact that they are literally in the same building. It's just that they keep on missing each other by literally a single second, like every single corner that they turn. The Doctor must now pretend to be Maximus and perform playing the liar in front of Nero and a whole audience. However, the very smart Doctor thinks of a plan. And back to Ian and his friend. They are not fighting lions, they are fighting each other. And in fact, that is the fight that Nero and Barbara are going to see. And Barbara watches in horror as he sees Ian and his friend fight each other. And his friend are not so keen on killing each other. But however, of course, whenever one has an opportunity to kill the other, they don't do it. And they simply continue fighting until, by pure accident, Ian's friend happens to have a perfect shot at killing Ian. And Nero orders him to cut off his head.
Cut off his head.
Very last second, Ian's friend decides not to kill him, and instead decides to try and attack Nero and Barbara, with epic failure, and Nero calls the guards, and now there's just commotion everywhere. Nero, however, is entertained by the fact that everyone is killing each other. In fact, he bees a total pain in the backside. One of his guards actually dies, and Nero is just kicking him, saying, "Get up and fight, lad!" Ian realizes that this is his time to leave, so while all the commotion is about, Ian runs. However, he tries to take Barbara with her, but Nero holds on to Barbara tight, so Ian runs off, vowing to Barbara that he will come back for her somehow. Barbara asks the man who bought her for 10,000 whatever for help, and he tells her that he will help her get her friend, and they'll be able to escape.
Maximus, my dear. Oh, my dear Caesar Nero. I have a surprise for you. Guess what it is? Well, now, let me think. You want me to play in the arena?
His face, though, like, he just wanted the Doctor to guess wrong, and then he'd just be like, "No, it's this," and then the Doctor would just be like, "Oh my god, that's so surprising." Like, Nero's like, he's acting like a 6-year-old kid who just being crowned king of Rome. The Doctor talks to Nero, and holds his glasses behind his back, and accidentally, just by pure coincidence, the sun is passing through the window at the exact position, so that it gets, because of the glasses thing, you know, the old hold a magnifying glass in front of the sun thing. The glasses in front of the sun causes Nero's plans for rebuilding Rome, which happens to be right behind him, to catch fire. And then he takes a little closer look at the plans, which are... Okay, I don't know why he thinks that holding a piece of paper that is on fire is a good idea. But he says how brilliant the idea is, because they are, after all, plans for rebuilding Rome. And the fact that the plans are on fire, it inspires him that he can burn Rome down. The Doctor accidentally inspired the Great Fire of Rome. The man who bought Barbara for 10,000 whatevers locates Ian and reunites the two back together. Meanwhile, Nero offers money to all of the peasants, I guess. In return, they would have to burn down Rome. I really like the scene when Barbara and Ian come home. They go back long before the Doctor and Vicky come back. And Ian gets Barbara back for playing a joke on him at the beginning of the story by playing the same joke on her. Barbara therefore punishes Ian by making him clean up the mess that the people who captured them at the beginning of the story made. Ian asks how it's his fault, and Barbara says that it was him who got his head in the way, accidentally admitting that she did accidentally knock a glass on Ian's head, knocking him out when she was trying to do it to one of the other two people. Ian then gets extremely angry at Barbara, and now Barbara has to clean up the mess. Doctor and Vicky then come home, and since they never saw each other, the Doctor and Vicky assume that they have been relaxing there the entire time.
Have told you yet? Oh no, he never does that. You mean it's a surprise?
Yes, to everybody.
I don't believe you. Come on, Bob.
Anything wrong, Doctor?
Huh? Oh, President, yes, you know, I wouldn't have thought it possible, but somehow we've materialized for a split second of time, being slowly dragged down.
My opinion might surprise you, as you might know I'm not such a big fan of the historicals, but then I quite enjoy, well, I'm assuming it's because it's comedy. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, then please leave a like so that I know if you enjoyed it. And leave a comment down below if you want to express your feelings, or just say first, or say who's watching in this year or whatever. And subscribe, and yeah. So, yeah. Thank you. Bye.